Okay, so there we go. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Swissboy and Kirura, for waiting. Definitely appreciate it. So good luck and have fun. With Merit, that's gonna be Hades versus Kronos. So you can see that Swissboy probably quite seems like inspired by Shelty from Tuesday, I'll be expecting. So Hades from Kirura, that's quite a nice civilization. He's gonna be able to, of course, have quite a nice fight with that. Doesn't seem too much of a problem at this point. For him, as he's gonna be heading into the gold mine, maybe a bit tricky position slightly, maybe getting raidable, but not too terribly, especially since we are gonna be seeing plenty of water fighting at the very beginning. So yep, that's what you're gonna be expecting here, but otherwise through top side you can see Kirudai's base. Bit of a funny wood line slightly, at least he's having one to the back. Oh well, he's getting better. Didn't see the one to the left side. I was just kind of looking at the funny one to the middle. So definitely not the ideal one that he wanted to be dropping at, but it's possibly also because he wants to be using the potential double, saving a bit of wood and having common storehouse for the wood and also for the gold. Thinking it's gonna be the biggest reason why he's actually going for it. Yep, later as exactly as posted in the chat, that's going to be at, what is it? 16 GMT, that's gonna be Shelty versus Swissboy, and 17 GMT, that's gonna be 9 Racing Cat versus Odinkin. So in about several hours, there's gonna be some more fun. There's gonna be immediate deconstruction against Kirudai. He's gonna be already getting, of course, the one fishing boat out, so it's at least a bit of assistance for him. Though it will be sucking pretty badly. And kinda he was slightly forced into that Kirudai, because obviously he was expecting there's gonna be a reconstruction. So he needed to be keeping the villages nearby. If he was with the village somewhere through top, then it would be a long haul and long walk. So it kinda like works with what he is right now gonna be having to face. Works just alright for all of that. You can see gonna be a few relics. That's gonna be village repairs damage. No, that's a very useless relic right now for the medit fight here. With unit LOS though, Path of Argus is pretty nice. That will be helpful. That will be definitely helpful a bit later, as otherwise as he's scouting around. How is it gonna be looking with potentially the decider for them? What kind of map they have as the deciding one? That's gonna be Swissboy, Kiludai, Alfheim. No, Alfheim is gonna be a deciding game. That's a fairly curious one, because obviously for the Egi main, for Kiludai Asdra, that's a good map, but it doesn't have to be too terrible for Swissboy. He probably could be playing some Oranos there, I'm guessing. Maybe Ra himself. He has been playing pretty decent one lately, so why not? Why not indeed? That could be also a bit of a plan for him, but I would be expecting maybe more the Oranos, as Alfheim tends to be Oranos map as well, especially if it's gonna be low hunt. Though, if he's gonna be knowing the matchup with Ra, then maybe he could be having some different plan, we'll see. We will definitely see, and yes, this is Swissboy's map. He is the home team, so therefore he is the one who's gonna be taking the choice in the game first and in the match. As we are in the Colossus division at this point, in the Challengers League, or the Champions League rather. The first match was in the Contenders. As the other matches later in the evening, they are gonna be in the... No, of course, Swissboy is gonna be yet again in the Champions League. And then later one, Odinkin versus Nyan, that is Contenders, right? I think so, or... Yeah, I kinda think so. I think that's Contenders. Well, nonetheless, it's gonna be still just a bit of scouting, looking around the map, what's gonna be happening here. You can see TC's on the same side, interestingly enough. And they are very close to the water, so that's gonna be the same as the Mediterranean that we have had before, with the advances being where you can see Hades is gonna be almost coming, still gonna be advancing like 445 or whatever, with the Oranos advancing, or the Oranos Kronos advancing 435. He's already gonna be coming in. As it's gonna be therefore resulting into nothing all that extremely surprising. You can see he's gonna be switching to the wood line. No, he probably could have been putting the storehouse somewhere into the middle for a bit more efficiency, like into this little, I don't know how to call it, clearing, let's say, in the forest. He's gonna wait down, obviously saving the 50 wood, so therefore he's gonna be having chance potentially for one extra storehouse, or potentially he could be also having some extra fishing boat. So that could be maybe some kind of slight advantage. We'll see if it's gonna be actually somehow helpful or not. Now he's gonna be heading therefore into second dock to the bottom. He's gonna be having to fish fairly far away, potentially third dock there, but I don't think he's gonna be going for it all that much. Don't think so. It's gonna be second dock to the left side. Seems like a similar position of the fish, so therefore nothing being too extremely close to the docks and making it a bit easier. Making it a bit easier to protect from potential raidings from the boats that might be, of course, roaming around here. around the seas. No, that's gonna be right now, of course, the first attack. That's gonna, of course, going for the dock. Then it's gonna be deconstructing the second. As the deconstruction is still gonna be, of course, taken. So you don't exactly have the number at this point, how long it's gonna be taken. Will be definitely helpful, but nonetheless, it's gonna be having to wait for that at least a bit. With obviously some more Birames and some first Birames already in. You can see it's already through into Athena. As the Hades, they won't be risking anything with Ares, it seems like. Doesn't want to be doing anything all that extremely special, but it's gonna be therefore resulting into a bit of a standard gameplay. Just needs to be careful to be keeping the numbers kind of up there. But with already you can see 6 Birames, that seems to be going damn well. But it's gonna be a third dock to the left side. That's gonna be actually a very good defensive setup here for Kyliudai. Gonna be having good opportunity for all of that. As the construction is gonna be coming in. Now on the destroyed dock almost, that's a weird one. Why would be actually doing that? I mean, like, nonetheless, it's gonna be therefore resulting into quite a bit of a boon for Kyliudai. So he's gonna be having quite a tight base here. At the same time, it also means he's gonna be probably and pretty much giving up plenty of fish. So if he's gonna be played well by Swissboy, he's gonna be at least forcing the opponent into a bit of a worse economy. And considering that he's Atlantean, that's gonna be even kind of a bit of a double bonus, let's say. That's gonna be also a bit of a double bonus, as he's gonna be heading home, potentially, as we are gonna be waiting for some engagement here in the middle. Could be potentially also letting everybody know on the Discord that we're gonna be having also the other match. And now Swissboy versus I kill you. Die. Just gonna have this point playing with the underscore, so maybe gonna be putting it into the scoreboard also. Between the games. As otherwise on the numbers, you're gonna be having 12 Birames at this point. You can see 14 Birames, so it's already getting into Kyliudai's advantage, and he didn't even have to be using so far restoration. So that is gonna be quite a decent and important boon. So it seems to me that while it was looking slightly okay for Swissboy at the very early stages, that Kyliudai managed to stabilize rather quickly. That the extra dock that he already prepared is obviously going to be quite a significant part of that, because he wasn't going to be making from 3 docks. He obviously doesn't have the echo for that this early in the game, but it basically meant that the reconstruction was mostly useless, as he was already prepared for that. So therefore it didn't result into any kind of delay at all. Because I know it's going to be plenty of Birames, about 14 versus 14. Restoration, don't think it had to be cast, because I don't think he was that low on the hit points on the boats. So I don't think that was that necessarily needed. I don't think it was all that necessarily needed. You can see right now it's going to be important battle, about 16 Birames, 15 Birames. No, that's especially since Swissboy is falling for the kite in here. And it's going to be quite a resounding victory for Kyliudai. Let's see if he's going to be able to pull it off and pull it through yet again. And still, as you can see, there's still a bit of a raiding going on by Ajax together with the Minotaur. But considering what's going on here with the priests, not priests, rather the oracles and the Promethean, it seems to me that this villager is gonna be kinda safe and will be able to continue fighting, and of course even and getting resources for longer in the game. And still, no, well, at any rate, that wasn't any kind of great English in there by me, but let's go back to the water battle. It's gonna be 17 versus 17. Still, the numbers are absolutely fine. You can see Kyliudai doesn't have to be really escaping, just needs to be slightly kiting as he's trying to do so, and seems to be working against Swissboy so far. Maybe a bit surprising, but it is. It seems that it is so far working. It's gonna be therefore at this point resulting into... Wait, but now the Birames getting pretty much done quickly. Yeah, he's gonna be of course falling next to the 2 docks here. He's gonna be having to potentially put some kind of fishing boat also to the bottom side and bottom one, so that he can be fighting in a bit more favorable position. Because if he's gonna be falling next to the docks, then he might just as well try to lure Kyliudai basically to the shooting of both of them instead of only one. So it's a bit of a strange one that Swissboy is gonna be trying to take fights here. But nonetheless, this is gonna be now heading into the second TC already for Swissboy, as it really seems like a bit of a legit play, as it's gonna be apparently the same also for Kyliudai. He's gonna be seeing the same situation in the map, and in the game you can see resources pretty much similar between them. Food economy, you can see 5, 6 fishing boats, 7 actually fishing boats in total for Kyliudai. 1, 2, 3, 6, and not pretty much the same. You can see 6 fishing boats here. Gonna be just still the Minotaur together with Ajax, having a bit of fun in there with some kind of raiding, maybe looking into the forest so far. So they get a bit of a breather, as this is gonna be yet again quite an excellent battle, it seems like, for Kirudai. He's having about how many TRMS? About 14, opponent like 17. You can see this is, if this is done on purpose, basically moving back and forth, then it's definitely coming from Age of Empires 2, because that's how you, how players are lately, microing in there. And basically just luring all the fires so that they're gonna be missing most of the enemy boats. But in the end, you can see that the reinforcements are coming in a bit quicker for Swissboy. So it seems like that right now Kirudai maybe slightly overestimated his power, even though it really looked like that he should be winning it. Just gonna more units coming up quicker for Swissboy are gonna be in the end heading into a bit of a victory. It's not entirely full victory yet. And he's gonna be having right now 17 BRMS, that's gonna be 11 3MS. So right now it's actually going really good for Swissboy, and really well. And he's gonna be also getting the 30C to the bottom, as you can see. The Atlantean power economy is apparently pulling through, but with the two dogs being so close by and close to each other, it's gonna be fairly simple to be at least keeping Swissboy at bay for a moment and waiting for a few more boats. Yet again, you can see 14 versus 21. That is something that Swissboy should be pushing right now. He definitely shouldn't be falling back. He does have some kind of opportunities out to actually make it work still. He could be attacking like from the shoreline, from the left side. He doesn't have to be going basically through the mid too much. You can see Village is moving for the gold as he's already running out. As he had at 11 minutes, quite a long water fight that we have on our hands. With apparently Heroic Age for Kirudai. Bit of a potential issue could be that Kirudai is Hades, so therefore he doesn't have Dionysus. If he wanted to be going for skills or some kind of engagement and shenanigans with those. And not exactly all that positive on that too much. Not really positive too much about that. So right now we're gonna be heading at 20 plus BRMS. It's gonna be like 22 against 18 TRMS. That's a good number still. You can see 6 attack versus 5 attack. So effectively yet again, every 5 boats, he's gonna be having 1 extra as opposed to the opponent. So he's having effectively at this point 4 extra boats, so like 23. With the DPS. Not with the hit points, obviously, that's the difference. But even on that, he's gonna be having advantage against the Atlantean 240 against 290, so basically 50 hit points. 50 hit points of a difference. He's also having lower pierce resistance. So all of that is just gonna speak in that some kind of small advantage in numbers doesn't have to be to game deciding. But yeah, well, still better be careful not to be underestimating it too much. Going also for the 30C to the right. Swissboy already managed to finish. Swissboy managed to finish. Obviously, we'll be right about now having pretty much fine water economy. So maybe we could be thinking also about getting some Pulsane into improving all of that. Is he gonna be at plow for Swissboy? And otherwise, the resources not entirely too high up there. You can see Kirudai is gonna be dropping a bit more onto the resources, as he's gonna be investing more into the villages rather than into the heroic age. He's gonna be even hunting dogs. I mean, like, there's a lot of hunt there. So I can understand that logic. You can see he's gonna be having some berries to the bottom, plenty of idle villages. 1 chicken. 75 food here. It's actually an interesting investment going for those hunting dogs, because obviously it's costing exactly the resources that at this point it could be using and it could be having. And see that third dog could be, yep, definitely could be useful, as RTS saying, as he does have the resources for that. Basically both have. Can you see right now Swissboy will be at least heroic in, with Kirudai taking quite a bit longer. So Hyperion is gonna be on the way for Swiss. He's gonna be trying to push forward. He's having 22 boats against like 20. That's not a good fight for Swissboy to push. He doesn't want to be doing that. But maybe he does. Maybe he kinda like, even if he's gonna be losing the battle, he's gonna be at least slowing down yet again the heroic age. And if he's advancing himself, then any kind of like dozens of seconds are gonna be worth quite a bit gold. And he's gonna be of course walling to the right side, gonna be probably therefore committing to the left, considering the military buildings and also, for example, the town center. It seems to be quite a bit logical rather. And seems to be making good sense. As on the economical upgrades on the citizens, we are at only plow, nothing too extra. And for the opponent, for Kirudai, he's gonna be having hand axe and pickaxe. So he's at least partially prepared, with pickaxe going for Swissboy. And Kirudai getting a bit closer right now into the heroic age, finally realizing that he really needs to be jumping himself. That seems like maybe even some immediate mythic for Swissboy. Not really all that clear what he's gonna be trying to do when he's going to be through. When he already, and he already is, just about now. Just about now. You can see he's gonna be Pelt of Argus at least for Kirudai, as he did have the hero nearby, so he's gonna be dropping already military academy. And pretty much going for the Domantas version that he was even advising somewhere on Tuesday, I think it was. how to use... Oh, actually, was it in the community games on Wednesday? Not really sure at this point. But he's actually seriously making narrates. Okay. Wow, that's a new one. Now, that's a new one. He actually legitimately spammed 2 narrates besides the free one. You can see he's gonna be having some sharks prowling the waters here. So that should be quite a bit of assistance. Obviously, they are quite interesting units. 400 hit points, 50 pierce resistance, 25 attack. So they're definitely quite solid tanks here. With Apollo, Helios immediately for Swissboy, so we kinda guessed it correctly. That's gonna be a course of action for him. Swissboy will be obviously trying to drop some kind of palace somewhere. But the wall is already nicely placed, but still palace about here will be quite a bit obnoxious. You can see Heroic Age is coming. And then the water economy is just effectively not working for him, so therefore Swissboy will be ahead. Even though Kiluda is right now winning on the scoreboard. Overall on the echo, I'm thinking that Swissboy is simply better. As he said, at this point gonna be winning the water or not? Gonna be 12 BRMS or the 3 RMS, 13 BRMS. That should be even with the narrates here so far. It could be actually becoming quite a bit more close battle. But obviously the narrates right now getting finally into the close quarters. They're gonna be just destroying all those 3 RMS even with the 30 melee resistance. So yep, narrates are gonna be claiming the water. It seems like they're gonna be still in good numbers. So therefore these dogs are gonna be also getting destroyed and reduced to ashes and float some. To the right, it's gonna be still open in here. Swissboy unfortunately didn't exactly scout all that properly, it seems to me, with Helios already up there. Feathers of Fenrir, yet again, not all that much of an important relic to be had. With the palace apparently a whole lot more conservative to the left. Well, that's a lot of ups. Medium infantry and archers, irrigation, Hephaestus, Walls of Erebus, fortified DC. Naval auxiliaries for Swissboy though. Obviously, yeah, that's the important part, because the TCs are in water range. So therefore, whoever is gonna be winning water is gonna be having an edge. But again, Kiluda is well aware he's gonna be countering immediately. Immediately countering with some combination of actually all 3 units at the same time. So you can see that even Kiluda is gonna be trying to maybe limit the TCs. Even maybe him is gonna be trying to do so. There's gonna be fortress to the left side, obviously, to protect the gold. That is down to 3000, otherwise he's having an excellent one through top. And beside the TC, so he's having plenty of gold still for the game. He doesn't have any kind of issue with that whatsoever. You can see, of course, a few boats already ready. Can be, of course, a bit of a surprise for Swissboy, as he's gonna be facing at least a few units as well. But you can see, man, those mythical units in here on the water. Like, seriously, that's something that you don't see at all that often. You can see the narrate is gonna be about now the first one dying because of Chiron. And it's gonna be, of course, quite close to potentially help out. But well, the Man of War is a bit of a problem. With his special attack, that is basically like Son of Osiris, pretty much. So you're gonna be heading into a bit more topside, which is gonna be right now resulting into... No, well, quite a nice attack actually with the Hika Gigantes. And also the Fire Siphon, obviously. Yep, that's gonna be working just alright. Just alright indeed. You can see the Heka Gigantes having massive 30 crash damage. You can see Colossus is having 50. He's obviously a bit better, but nonetheless, right about now is gonna be taken. And oh, okay. And right now, exactly, run away, Swissboy. Exactly. Go away and kind of hope that Kiluda is gonna be making a mistake. And potentially gonna be leaving the Manticore way too close to his TC. And maybe the Colossus is gonna be aggroing somewhere to the back. But well, it seems like he's gonna be wanting to kill it anyway, which is obviously a mistake. You should be a bit more careful about that. Losing one because could not be spawning on the map. One of the sentinels, but otherwise on the water is going to be apparently quite a solid comeback, which is going to be right now resulting into Swissboy not really having all that much of a long advantage of it. It seems to me that he should be able to deal with that somehow. Because of course right now the Pentacontests are going to be dying. Still needs to be dealing with the Man of War here. That seems to be the biggest problem with the narrate. Otherwise heavy infantry for Swissboy. He doesn't probably have too many upgrades, he's having only copper shields. The opponent is gonna be without anything too much. And well, could be obviously using the special attack right now by the Perseus to get rid of the units. He kinda got rid of the Hika Gigantes, I think, first. You can see he has the skeleton for the Manticore here. With so far not all that many upgrades, only the Belt of Argus. And he's even that firebolt into the face. But well, nonetheless, let's gonna go back to the water because it's gonna be also fairly important because whoever's gonna be having control of it. So this is like one of the rare situations where you're gonna be having actual water fight in Mythical Age or kinda late Heroic Age at this point for Kiludai. Mythical Age obviously for Swissboy because it's fairly important as you need to be controlling the town centers, and whoever's gonna be having that is gonna be having quite a massive edge in the game. As obviously, yeah, missing TC simply 2 versus 3. It's quite obvious. That's gonna be now right path now resulting into maneuver, probably getting killed finally. It seems like having 175 hit points at this point. So it seems to me that Swissboy is gonna be going for more normal units. Doesn't want to be wanting to be actually using the favor for any kind of myth units. Even though he could, he's having 80 favor. So what is he actually gonna be making? Not entirely certain. As you can see, Kiludai is gonna be quite low on the economy. He's gonna be getting copper weapons and copper mail there. As obviously the Mythical Age is already in. As he's gonna be therefore getting the maybe Forge of Olympus is in or not. Let's look at that. He's not getting any kind of upgrade, so I don't think so. Or maybe he's basically just now starting. Maybe it is, I'm not sure. Maybe it could be just about now starting. You can see obviously it's gonna be bronze shield, or the bronze weapon, sorry. With the heavy infantry that we have seen research earlier. You can see all copper upgrades otherwise. The DC to the left side will be obviously still quite hard to be taken down. I mean, like he's Hades. He doesn't have Masons yet. He's even at least the 45 town center, so obviously it's still plenty of extra hit points for him. You can see 4,200. And for example, compare it with the Atlantean TC all the way to the right, that's 2,800 on the 45 variant. So basically 1,400 hit points difference in here. As the water battle is going to be still continuing. You can see that's a lot of narrates finally at this point by Swissboy. You can see he's going to be having 600% damage against myth units, but against only myth units. You can see the Shark Bite, damage 150 hack attack. Can be used against even the buildings. It's a bit interesting, it's not only against units. Can be also using it against the dogs. As one is gonna be dying, and well, otherwise it seems like that even though he's spamming narrates as mad and as much as he can, he's gonna be inevitably running out of favor. They are costing 14, so he can be getting another one still. Well, the siege boats are apparently good enough against them and working just alright. Just alright indeed. Now, well, nonetheless, as we're gonna be heading back to the top side, as the water battle really seems to be going one way. As he's now, well, still could be getting one extra, so he needs to be putting a bit more effort, but you can see the damage is right massive, because they are having very low crush damage resistance, only at 80%, so that's why they are receiving quite a lot of punishment from the Oxy Juggernauts here. As it's gonna be now the fort is attempted as well. That's gonna be quite an influential, actually, quite an influential chaos. He needs to be taking the villager and taking it somewhere away. Why is he not actually using the special attack, the Perzos? Is there some kind of like thing preventing him from casting it onto Gaia units? Because why is he not like... Oh well, there we go. He was just kinda using it immediately before. Okay, so no problem. I was kinda thinking that was... Because I didn't see it used before either. So I was kinda confused why actually isn't micro in it. But that was because he was just kinda using it immediately before when I didn't notice. And I did not notice, as he's gonna be at heavy archive with all bronze right now prepared here. You can see he's gonna be dropping a few towers. So Kiludai is definitely not in any kind of great shape. Needs to be really getting the upgrades on the Forge of Olympus. You can see copper double and then bronze. Swissboy is going to be at this point already all bronze. But he's losing the water, so that could be quite a bit of a threat. Obviously, TC is right now gonna be toast. So that is a huge issue. Huge issue indeed. That well. Nonetheless, as he's gonna be at this point going into quite a bit of an interesting engagement to the left. He needs to be also switching to some kind of legitimate units because he's so far making plenty of Hypaspace, which is kinda cool, but he's facing mostly horses. He's facing mostly horses and archives, so why is he making Hypaspace? I mean, like, sure, there are some Murmilos here and there, but definitely not that extremely many. So he's kinda slightly off units at this point, Kiludai. He needs to be definitely also making some Helepolis or Petrobolai. Maybe Petrobolos. Maybe to be honest, Petrobolos to be taking down the TC, or keeping it down at least. Because right now we are gonna be at 2 TCs basically for all eternity, it seems to me. So all the way to the left, there's gonna be a bit of a rebuilding on the water. Swissboy is definitely not about to be giving up. Wait, about now resulting into pretty much a done deal. You can see Sukul going for at least a few BRMS. So that won't be anything all that legit. He just needs to be keeping at least one siege boat here next to the TC. Don't exactly understand why he was recalling all of them. That's obviously a mistake by Kiludai in there. But well, the Helipolis is dead. He needs to be right now getting a new one immediately to be putting down the TC, which he will exactly now. So this is definitely not gonna be coming up somewhere else too much. I don't think this is gonna be really put up by Swissboy. But if it was, then that would be potentially a signal that maybe the game could be going a certain way. As we are already at 24 minutes, so yet again, quite a bit of a slugfest it seems like that we have on our hands. With some more upgrades. So far only bronze for Swissboy. Gonna be getting heavy arches, iron mail for actually both Swiss and Kiludai. So good upgrades it seems like for Kill, yep. Fortune for Olympus is gonna be right now paying off. He's gonna be fully ironed. Fully ironed indeed. Therefore this is gonna be about now resulting into the palace. Oh well, that's gonna be actually a good idea because it's gonna be effectively blocking the TC from Kiludai. He won't be able to get it. Maybe Kiludai could be trying to go for the right one, but it's just such a mistake at this point by him. Should have been keeping just basically one Oxy Juggernaut here and keeping it now indefinitely. Quite indefinitely indeed. So you can see that here this is gonna be actually looking really damn good for Swissboy. I'm kinda thinking that maybe Kiludai could be right now starting to overturn it because he's really gotten quite good upgrades and therefore he's gonna be able to match the opponent. But our problem is that Swissboy managed to get Champion Fanatics already. He does have the Iron Mail that we have seen upgraded a bit before. Flat control for Swiss for the Echo, Iron Weapons for Kill. And otherwise the economies... No, somebody is overdoing gold. Needs to be definitely getting a whole lot more food at this point, Kiludai. Otherwise he's housed anyway, so it's not like it's anything all that extremely relevant. As it's gonna be right now, of course, a bit of a palace to maybe slightly more protect the TC, which is obviously gonna be at this point a whole lot harder to take down. You can see he's gonna be freeing a bit more population limit. Which is obviously gonna be a bit of assistance, frankly. You can see the Juggernaut's in. That's gonna be a new dock immediately up. Or is he actually still the kind of like old one? Maybe could be. Maybe still could be the old one. Now, so it's gonna be there for resulting into the palace gone. TC is gonna be gone right after. Unfortunately, though, for Kiludai is gonna be losing also the Hill Fort, aka Fortress. I was just gonna going through all the names. Migdol, Hill Fort, and Fortress is gonna be the last one. You were just gonna could be thinking also about the palace. Swiss also has Vortices still. Yes, he definitely does, all three of them. There's still the underworld passage to be used, but obviously to not any kind of great effect. I'm kinda halfway thinking that maybe, as this boy is losing the TC, that maybe Kiludai could be trying to take this town center. That could be kinda legit. What it could be doing, and what it would be definitely doing, would be basically Vortex from Swissboy. Unfortunately, with the palace already in, it's gonna be denying the plan for potentially Kiludai stealing the left TC there for in the meantime. So, that could be legit. Like, have the plan. Underworld passage from here to this TC, that would be followed by Vortex by Swissboy, and then effectively he could be maybe trying to take the TC to the left side Kiludai, but the palace is really kind of throwing a wrench into it. So I don't think that would be really working too much. But he seems to be getting at least a bit of a match right now with the units finally with being fully ironed. He getting some resources in there as well. With Petrified for Swissboy. What is Petrified? Some kind of improvement of Heka Gigantes. Fire Siphons and Cairo Ballista Heck vulnerability. Yeah, that's exactly a relic or the upgrade that you don't see too often. You can see he's gonna be moving for the TC anyway. Getting blocked here by that Hoplites. Yeah, well, that's definitely the idea to go for. So that's gonna be the Vortex. That's a really kind of costly on the villages though. That was a bit of a risky play to be doing this way. You can see through the top side he's gonna be blocking the TC at the last second, it seems like. And if he's Hades, I mean, like, seriously, if you're not gonna be going for the Petropolis, just do a few Gastrafetes. Even just like 1 2 Gastrafetes will be taking this down indefinitely and keeping it down. That's definitely something that he could be doing and should be doing. He needs to be getting some Gastrafetes to really get rid of all even the palace potentially. You can see, of course, the villages right now will be trying to walk around. So it can be effectively dead meat and dead weight. You can see about like 11, 12, 13 villages stand here and they're not gonna be doing anything, and it's also on lower population limit, so there is a legitimate problem with new docks coming up. You can see Swissboy gonna be dropping palace next to the shoreline. That's yet again so Age of Empires 2. Yeah, well, castle on the shoreline and drop in docks and come back in the Imperial Age. That's how it's done, exactly. As the TC is therefore gonna be down, also the palace will be down, so right about now this is a good chance to take the TC. Like, legitimately it is. Unfortunately, he's gonna be getting the Vortex already in, so he needs to be probably doing it again. But the Fortress up and another one, that's definitely a very good plan for Kiludai. So he does have quite a legit chance to make this work still. You can see he's gonna be taking basically the path on foot. So as you can see, the dogs are gonna be apparently killed fairly immediately. Yet again, I mean, like, Kiludai, please, pretty please. I beg you on my knees. I beg you on my knees. Leave one siege boat here to block the TC. Pretty please, on my knees. I'm gonna be kissing your feet if you're gonna be doing that. Please. Because that's just a play that needs to happen. As that is the way how he gets the advantage. And we potentially will be able to make it work. But so far, he's at least pushing rather well through the left side. So it seems like that maybe he's gonna be able to break through anyway. As the town center is probably gonna be getting at this point finished. Even though he's getting all kinds of fun, you can see at least the champion Hopley test with all the ups are gonna be at this point paying off. You can see medium Contarite, double bronze, and iron. So that's still a bit of a problem right now for Swissboy. As he's getting the TC to the right side in the end. Gonna be getting double palaces here. Right now it's gonna be getting a whole lot more complicated. Like, seriously more complicated. Seriously more complicated. You can see the town center is finished. And we are back in idle game or the even game. And now that is gonna be finally in favor of Kiludai. So at this point he probably won't be having too much of an extreme penalty for not keeping the TC down to the right side, but that could be right now the winning move. Would have been obviously a whole lot easier if he was just keeping it down simply by one boat. But well, he kind of said no, he wants to be having a bit of a challenge and giving Swissboy some kind of chance maybe or whatever. But nonetheless, that's gonna be done. You can see that's gonna be attempt at the fortress, which is gonna be quite a bit tricky. Look at the damage output. The villages are not even able to build it quick enough. That's how much damage actually the palace is doing. As you can see here, the upgrades into the champions are so much paying off. Yes, of course, the champion Toxotai also getting researched and done. So you're gonna be at this point finishing with the palace. And it's gonna be therefore done deal pretty much here altogether. As he's still gonna be having 2 vortices right now. Swissboy wanted to be looking and showing you a bit of help. You can see the vortex is gonna be only one that available. As he was trying to stop the TC, but well, nonetheless, didn't exactly work out for him. There was plenty of army already available. Town center is gonna be there for done, and all the way to the right side. A bit of radiant with like one the Hopley test fighting against the Kontarai in here. It's gonna be unfortunately dying, but yeah, well, that was always going to be his face as opponent or the fate. As he's gonna be having another fight on the water here. You can see this is gonna be a bit more serious, of course, for Swissboy, as he's realizing since the TC is back that right now dropping the 2 will be a whole lot harder, a whole lot significantly harder at this point. As you can see, the infantry is gonna be working out, but it needs to be also incorporating something a bit more. I'll be liking really just a few Gastrafetes, because they will be. He doesn't need to be having too many of them, like 2, 3. And they will be enough to work basically effectively as siege weapons against the palaces. They will be kind of solid against units as well. They're not terrible. Not like you're gonna be losing battles with 2, 3 Gastrafetes just right off the bat. Definitely not. But well, seems like the situation is stabilized. Probably at this point waiting for some undeveloped siege somewhere. Probably could be maybe slightly more fortifying the TC here. Maybe some kind of fortress doesn't have to be too much of a bad idea. You can see some fire siphons and also a few still heavy siege beremes here. Actually heavy already. Or, oh well, heavy siege bereme. I was kind of thinking, yeah, well, confused with, of course, other boats. That's how it's actually called. Because the other boats are having different names, and heavy is obviously signal for example, heavy trireme and whatever. Having the iron ship cladding or the arrow ship cladding, for example. But not really. So you're gonna be therefore having a bit of fun elsewhere here. He's gonna be trying to, of course, take down the fortified TC. That's gonna be until the siege finally coming. And he's gonna be coming to the bottom TC, which obviously is gonna be countered by a last vortex. He's having at least some kind of army, which he does. And how much is it? No, not enough. That TC should be falling. Just gonna use the Helipoli against the TC and gonna let the rest kind of fight here on its own, because this should be quite a bit of a victory at this point. I think for Kiludai. So it seems to me that Swissboy is going to be unfortunately heading into a bit of an untimely end after 33 minutes of the first battle. That was quite a hefty one, because at this point, yep, that's gonna be GG already called. He did have his chance, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the TC in there, even though he did what he could have. Kiludai just defended it really damn well. Obviously used the advantage on the water that he gained. And that is why he's gonna be heading into the lead. And we're gonna be heading into the home map of his own. Let's see what he's gonna be choosing. Yep, that was quite a nice game. Quite a tight one on top of that. Certainly so. Absolutely, certainly so. But man, please, next time, just if you just could leave one siege boat to keep this down for all eternity. That would be really making the game a bit easier for you. But nonetheless, he won anyway. So, good job. And well, of course, yep, the population limit was going to be a problem. So, it was looking kind of a bit dangerous for Kiludai for a long time. But as he slowly but surely was getting the upgrades, it was getting better and better. And we finally got into the final form of the Greek Pokemon. Then he managed to pull through. Simply the units were way too powerful for the Atlantean. And even when the TC advantage was gone, then there just wasn't anything that he could be doing against it in the end. Okay, so we're gonna be at this point looking into the next game, into game number 2. And before that, into post-game. You can see it's gonna be at this point Kiludai with quite nice total score. And that's going to be right now also... no, well, the economy not bad for Swissboy. You can see he's having plenty more resources, about like 7 and 6, 13,000 more resources. There's about like 6 here. From the trade. He was having quite a nice one, but in the end, even that wasn't going to be enough. Due to nice defensive turtle play by Kiludai and waiting for the last opportunity to get the victory. You can see 333 units killed, quite nice number. And that's fairly similar between the players, not really too much of a difference. Heroic Ages, Mythical Ages, fairly similar. You can see minute difference between them, also half a minute here in the Classical Age. So they were kind of following each other. Maybe they much the same state. You can see Champion hopefully has in the end the most. BRMS for Swissboy has the most gone. 80 narrates. Whoa. 80 narrates we have seen in the game. At the end. And in the end. That's fairly nice. The discipline obviously is going to be quite high for all of them. And it was quite a bit of a drop because... yeah, that's probably when he said that he killed the trade. So his boy said that. Maybe also when he lost... no, he lost, of course, quite a bit earlier. The fishing boats, it was somewhere about... not here. But somewhere about here, I guess in. Not sure exactly when it was. Otherwise, on the military, they were fairly similar. Besides, of course, the drop from Kiludai when he wasn't doing all that well here on the water. But then he kind of came back fairly quickly and then he was able to keep it up there for the longest time. Even on those 2 TCs, you can see he's having similar army. That's fairly nice. Just well done. Okay, GG.